Hello, this is Vintage Shabby Goodness, and my name is Patty. I have a journal here that I just completed. It's a dark toned journal, a little bit different than what I'm used to, but it has turned out to be a beautiful one. As you see, I just used a doily type or scarf, dresser scarf, that I just cut out so this lady could peek through, and I think she just looks absolutely beautiful. I put a tassel on this one. Haven't done a tassel in a while, so I thought I'd change that up and add that. I did add a 2-ring binder for this because I wanted to leave the pages big, and I did add a little wedding dress applique here and down here, and then added some pearl beads at the bottom. And she is so long and tall that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get her all in here at all times, but I will move her around the best I can to get it all in there. But this is the cover of it. The flower I made, an applique I added, another applique. I added some stickles into her hat there. And so we'll go on in. Used an applique for a pocket over here, and excuse me, my voice is going wacky. And I put this girl here just to kind of hold the tag in, but I just thought she was cool, and I just tore her out and just set her in there and left her there. So a little bit different for me, but I kind of like it. And then I put this tag in there. I do have some corners on it, a little stamp here, little piece of embroider trim there, and then a piece down here. Turned out rather cool. And journal on the back. And then this is another like scarf or table runner. I just glued on to cover the page up to make it a little mysterious. But I just thought the color looked so pretty with the chocolate brown down here at the bottom that I wanted to add that in there. And we'll flip this up. And on this first page here, I added this applique here with a little black rose. There's some flowers that I cut out and just kind of puffed up a little bit to kind of give it a 3D look here. Little piece of applique there and a corner here. And this is just a half page. And so I added another part of a half page and put some white paste around the edges to kind of help with the darkness. Kind of lighten it up a little bit. And then I put the card, I made this card to go in it. And a little dangle. I added a tab and a dangle. And then this pretty lady here on this side, some paste, did some stenciling with the paste here and here. Added a little corner there and some shaggy trim up there. So let me put this back down. And then whatever you want to do on the back here, I left a lot of this open to where you can journal. You could paper clip, just bulldog clip, whatever, anything onto the back here, just whatever you like. Then this page here, I added some fringe to the bottom. You can see that. And of course I stenciled on it with the white paste. There's a little bit of pearls in here. a rosette that I made, added a few more flowers around it, along with this trim here in the corner. I thought that trim was so pretty. So there's that. And then here's a page that got damaged, so I just tore it off and added it in here. There's everything goes out the window when you come across a beautiful kit that you can do just about anything with. And I'm just trying to show that you can use just about anything and it still can come out looking so nice. A little more stenciling, a couple of appliques here. I made this dangle here. It turned out just fine. And here's another smaller page to where I just added some trim and added some little flower, just stuck some flowers together with a little bow. And I did make this into a pocket. I love this trim here. And here's the tag that I put in there. Made a dangle for it. A little piece of applique off the wedding dress, a flower, a vintage button. Then I added this flower in her hair along with some stickles. And then I sewed around the edges where I kind of roughed it up and then added some white to it. And I actually had a good time. Really had fun making this. Didn't know for sure which way I was going to go because, like I said, it's just a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I had fun. And this one, I just added some trim around her. She has a hat on, but it doesn't show up, so I just went around and mocked the hat that she had in her hair and made it a cream color to where she had it black. A clock. I cut a clock out and put it down here at the bottom along with some cheesecloth. A flower with a applique down here. And that's all I did. Well, she is laid over her again. I cut her out and it was to kind of help tuck all this in, and I added some sequins into there also. But just to kind of give her a 3D look, I just put her on top of herself. And then I just added the envelope on the back here, kind of cattywampus. Added a little bow, some vintage trim with this little girl here, and another corner down here. Flip this up, and there's the envelope here to where I added this stamp here. And then I made a belly band, and I put a sticker there, and put a tag in here in the belly band, along with the applique. Put that in later. Don't want to waste time trying to get it in there. And then I added this card here. This is all wedding dress. And then I just took some seam binding and crinkled it up. Then a bull pen with a bead and a little bit of sari silk. I kind of collaged a little bit on this one. Kind of fun. And then another part of the page here where I added an applique, did some stenciling with the paste to bring in some white. I did make oops, it came undone. I'll have to glue that back down. Here, turn my glue on. Then I put this tag inside there. It's this lady, a rose sticker with a little red rose coming out of it. little piece of wedding dress. And I sewed around it. And I'm going to leave this out so I can, actually I want to use this glue on that. Excuse me, goodness. There we go. Well, I cleaned house around here a little bit. Now I can't find any of my rags. There we go. I like to blot it with an old paper towel or a dried out baby wipe to get the excess glue. Again, I'm going to leave that out until it dries. And then down here is a flower that I made. Let me flip this over. And I put another picture of a little girl. And then some more fringe up here. A bow that I tied with from seam binding. Then this was just an open picture here, but I cut her out and added her into that picture. And it looks like she's staring off into that tree and the sunset back behind it. But put a doily behind her, a piece of trim, and then I did some stenciling again down here at the bottom. That flower that I made along with a applique underneath it. And here is, I really did a bold thing. I need your opinion on it. What do you think of this big splash of red here? I don't know what I was thinking. I just had the sticker laying there, and I thought, I laid that on there, and I thought it looked cool. And I thought, nope, not gonna do it, because that's making a pretty bold statement there. And finally, I just did it, because I just thought it looked so pretty. And then I took some paint, white paint, and splattered it on there. And then an old paper clip that I had rusted is just there just there. Then I went around the edges with some white here. But I think it turned out cool. Leave me a message down below if you would, please, and let me know your thoughts on it. So, yay or nay on that. And then on the other side here, I just cut around the edges here and added a little tag into there. And then I cut on up around so I could add this tag in there. But I like to do that quite a bit, is just make cuts out of the picture itself and just make tuck spots. And I just think it looks so neat. And then, as you can see, I added a little bit of a red leaf here with some black flowers on it. It's got kind of folded over, but excuse me. I added another piece of trim over this one, and I added this bead down on the bottom, hopefully to give it some weight so it wasn't all over the place, but it still is. And you lift that up, and I added this piece of metal here with a rhinestone and added a little piece of trim there. I added the pearls here into this tag, which I made out of a big applique, a very large applique. And there's a cute little girl there, and I added a little rhinestone there, a burgundy flower there with the little part of an applique there. And then I made this flower here and added it, kind of get more support. And then this is a paper clip that I added that is holding a tag on the other side, but I just want you to see this lady here. Isn't she beautiful? She's just so pretty. And I didn't want to do anything to her. So let's pull this back down. This is the back page. And this is what that paper clip was holding in. I'll just slide that up. See, it's so flimsy that it just wouldn't hold. So I just put the paper clip. And this is off a wedding dress also. The wedding dress, I used like 3 different wedding dresses on this journal here, and then added this applique here. So, and I did put fabric on the back of this. So, there you have it. And I hope you like her as much as I do. I just really am pleased with how she came out. Being big and dark colored and just, you know, sort of out of my element, but I had fun. So I do have her for sale, and I will put everything in the description area on how much and my email address. You can get a hold of me if you are interested. And the digital that I did use was from Crazy Watercolor. So, and I do believe you can find her on Etsy. So just for FYI, but I was just scrolling through Etsy and I seen this, and I don't know, something about it just drew me to it. So here it is. Thank you all for coming and watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.